Okay, can we start, Tamnika? I think we'll go ahead.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
We may not be able to finish the whole of it in time. Let people join if they do, otherwise, it's okay.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so since it's just you, I think it's easier because we can discuss and talk better, right?
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, Mami, I think there's sound from two systems. Can you hear any other noises or anything?
No, ma'am.
It's
The
clear,
voice is
no?
clear. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, all right. So in that case, let's begin with this. We'll talk a bit about adverbs
Yes, ma'am.
in the sense that I wanted to know about what adverbs would mean, right? In that sense, we know it what it is and like how it functions, so on and so forth. I think we've already looked at it in your course one, right? But for this one, nothing changes on what we mean by adverbs or what adverbs can do in a sentence. It's still the same, not much of a variation, but we're just adding to, the types and the kinds of adverbs that we've already known. So until now, the more commonly found kinds of adverbs were like manner, adverb of manner, or time, or place, or reason, right? Direction, so on and so forth. So because now our focus is more on the aspects of writing and speaking proficiency. We're also going to talk about certain kinds of adverbs, not the most commonly found ones. These are commonly used words. It's just that we don't know that they are adverbs, right? So we're going
Yeah.
to look at some of them specifically, uh, yeah, to understand what else can these adverbs do in addition to their already known functions, right? So that's why we've included the topics on uh, types of adverbs again for this particular um, course, right? The English 2 course. So mainly, I think that there are two or three varieties of them. One is, of course, the comment adverbs. Second, the viewpoint adverbs. And then I think there was also lecture on, I think, an individual lecture on degree adverbs, right? So degree adverbs, comment adverbs, viewpoint adverbs, and then also finally you have the focus adverbs, right? So adverbs that are categorized under these kinds that I just mentioned, whether focal or whether that is comment or viewpoint or the degree ones, these are already known to us. Like we've seen them, we've been constantly using them, but not with a full knowledge of what they can do and how they can function. Right. That is why they have been put aside a little differently, because these are the kinds of adverbs which very commonly figure in writing and speaking, right? Especially the formal speaking and formal writing. Henceforth, these have been included as a separate section, right? So, degree adverbs, what do they do? The basic function of any degree adverb would be to add intensity to what has already been mentioned. Now, that intensity addition or emphasis addition can be to either a verb or it can be an adjective. Like you can say very slowly, wherein very is the degree adverb, providing emphasis for another adverb which is slowly. Or you can also say something like very good, right? So again, this is an emphasis marker for an adjective, which is good in this case. So in either of the case, whether it is modifying an adjective or a verb or another adverb, the function of a degree adverb is to act as an emphasizer, to act as an intensifier, right? To tell you to what extent, right? And then comes your comment adverbs and your viewpoint adverbs. Now, comment and viewpoint, especially when you are writing, say, something that is an essay like, right, a reflective essay or any simple essay, or for that matter, anything that is a formally written document, right, at workspace or in your college, right? A college essay or say an admission essay that you write, an SOP, right? Or a research or the statement of purpose, which is SOP, then research intent, right? Or research paper itself, right? Or a report that you draft at your office or an email that you send at your office. All of them require to have certain formal aspects in its language, when you present it in the language or linguistic form. These kind of adverbs, comment and viewpoint adverbs, are very commonly figured in these forms of technical and, professional writing. So in that sense, why is it important? Because one, we should know the existence of them to know where and how to use it. Second is, when you use these adverbs, it is also important for us to know where exactly should I place this adverb, given that, adverb is it's a fluid category, meaning that you can find an adverb anywhere in the sentence, right? See, at any point, if you're unable to hear me, just let me know, right? If there is, breakage in the voice or anything, please let me know. Anything, Karnika?
No, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, all right. So yeah, the point is you are going to use these adverbs, but then where should I place it? Can I place it in the beginning of the sentence? Can I, place it at the end of the sentence? Or is it okay for me to place it somewhere at the middle of the sentence, maybe before the verb somewhere? All of this is decided based on what are you using this adverb for, right? In the traditional sense, if you ask me, adverbs are usually placed before the verbs, right? They precede the verb. However, when used to talk about them, or when they're used in a sentence in order to represent a comment or a viewpoint, their placement shifts, right? Okay. So that is the importance of one, knowing what a comment and viewpoint adverb is, and more importantly, structurally, where are you going to place it? Then the last one in this particular category, right, among the 4 different classifications that we are going to look at today, would be the focus adverbs, right? Now, focus adverbs, what do? As the name suggests, they have the capability to shift the focus, right? Shift the focus towards the word that stands next to it, right? So we look at it when we are solving the exercises, and I'll give you the examples then. But for our understanding, a focus adverb is that which, as the name suggests, shifts the focus to an element that it is modifying, or an element that appears along with it, right? That's the work, right? It also helps you to provide sentential stresses. You already have looked at word stress in your course 1, right? Now that was more syllabic. It was related to the syllable and how lengthy and how louder a particular syllable in a sound was, right? The stress was based on that. In sentential stress, because it's a string of words, there's no way to do that. But we know that the more prominent kind of stress, at least in our languages as opposed to English, is the sentential stress. And what do? You stress upon a word. Now, these focus adverbs, they have the capacity to bring such kind of stress and focus and attention onto a verb by sitting right before it, right? We'll look at the examples and you'll understand, right? Okay, so now we'll begin with the exercises. You have a warm-up exercise sorts. So the first one that you have here, beginning from Maria to maybe even the complete one that follows it, they're all warm-up exercise just in order to brush up your understanding of adverbs and the kinds of adverbs that we have, right? Then we'll move on to the viewpoint and the comment and the focus one. Vishal, you have a question?
Yeah, ma'am. Good evening.
Yeah.
So this is my first session. Like I have been, this is my first session that I'm attending. So could you please guide me on the topics which were covered in the previous sessions?
Okay, we can do that if you can stay back after. But actually, I have another class at 7. We'll see. What you can do instead is you can go to the same calendar from where you access the session, right? The link for the session. Actually, all the sessions are recorded. Maybe you can look at the playlist and run through what has been discussed. Because if I'm going to do that, I won't be able to finish the worksheet here today. And unfortunately, I cannot stay back after the class because there's another one scheduled at 7.
Yeah,
right?
ma'am. I clearly understand.
Sorry about that. But in case you need any other clarification, okay. But in case if there are specific questions, then we'll take it up tomorrow between 5 to 6 because we have a live session for both English 1 and 2. So in case there are like questions and confusions and clarifications required on certain concepts, you may join that session and get it clarified. Okay. For the sessions, please go back and look at that recorded ones. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. And just a small doubt. I heard that there's something related to essays. Oh, so could you please brief me about it?
What related to essays? No. I was just trying to make you understand the relevance of, learning something like a comment or a viewpoint adverb, or knowing that something of that sort exists. That's it. We are
Okay,
not,
so the
there's
essay
no
concept
exercise
is
or
not going to
anything.
come for the exam. Sorry.
Huh.
So are these topics related to essays going to come for exam?
No, these are from your module. No, you will definitely get questions from this part, but not as essays. I was just
okay.
giving an example on the application of, these topics. That's all.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Okay, we'll go ahead. So the first question that you have here, Maria had an emergency at her workplace and she left soon. Could you pick out the adverbs for me here? Now, these ones, some of them, even if they overlap with the 4 types that we just mentioned, it's all right. But in the traditional sense, like, as manner, place, time, frequency, reason, purpose, you can use that classification to identify the adverbs here. Okay. So, in the first sentence, which ones do you think are the adverbs?
Soon.
Soon. Okay. And soon would be what kind of an adverb?
Time.
Time. Or, yes, yeah, time would be the right answer. Anything else in that sentence?
Left, ma'am.
Left is a verb, right? Not an adverb.
Yeah, it's a verb. Sorry.
Yeah. So in the last class, someone told me that this is, someone was reporting at her workplace to me. So this is the difference. At her workplace is a phrase, right? It is definitely an adverbial phrase, but it's not an adverb, right? It might look like, it talks to you about place. So maybe I can pick that out and mark as an adverb. But remember, it's a phrase. When you're asked about adverbs, they have to be singular words, right? Although it functions like an adverb there, it is not an adverb. It's an adverbial phrase. So if you're asked for an adverb in the exam, only mark words, right? Not phrases. Keep that in mind. Second one, please reach the place quickly and leave the bags there.
Quickly. Yeah.
Quickly, yes, of course, right? It's the adverb of manner. Anything else? How about there? Huh? Right. So is there an adjective, pronoun, or an adverb?
I think it's an adverb.
You think it's an adverb?
Yeah, maybe.
Why do you think so?
Because leave it there. So like it's actually describing the verb leave, right? Leave where?
It is describing a verb. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, see, you are right. Adverb is also, there is also used as an adverb, right? It can be used as a pronoun, right? Or sometimes also as an adjective. But in this case, the question mostly is, I don't know if it is this class or some other class. I told you that in English, functional words like these, right? Functional words refer to the ones which do not have a real life reference, right? They only acquire their meaning when they appear in a sentence along with other particles or other segments, right? It's not like noun and verbs and all, which may, you can point out to something and say, okay, this is pen, this is pencil. That you cannot do with words like that, this, there, here, so on and so forth. Now, the thing with such words is that they can be used as different parts of speech, right? They can act sometimes as adverb, sometimes as preposition, sometimes as the same word might act in multiple ways. So this one should also be considered as an example of that. Now, the major question is, in the given question, is there used as an adverb? Does it show place?
Yes.
Yes, right? So in this case, you can count there as an adverb, right? But not in all cases. So if it appears in the beginning of a sentence, there are 5 students in the class, then is it an adverb?
No.
No, no. But in the example that we have here, it is because it gives you a sense of place, right? So keep these things in mind, especially these kind of words, which can be used in multiple ways. That's all. Okay. Right. So you have quickly, and you also have there both acting as adverbs. Then she finished her task fast and enthusiastically.
Oh, fast
Ah,
and enthusiastically as well, I think.
yeah, both.
Yeah.
Okay, you have both enthusiastically and fast as your adverbs. Okay, right.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, we'll move on to this one. So these are longer sentences, but they're easy. Okay, they look longer, but they probably would be easier than the previous one. We'll read through them and figure out what the adverbs are. Plate armor is today remembered as one of the most popular armors in European Middle Ages, even though historical records are very clearly describing that rise of the plate armors and their extreme version, suit of armor, were the most prominent during 15th and late 16th centuries. Okay, you can read line by line and then let me know what the adverbs are.
Is today an adverb?
Yes, is today an adverb? What do you think it is? Right, it tells you about the time. So
Yes.
today it's an adverb of time. Right?
Very clearly.
Very clearly, okay. Very and clearly both are adverbs, right?
Yes.
Anything more?
Um, is most prominent? No, I don't think so. Um,
Which one?
is most prominent an adverb? No, right, ma'am?
Most prominent is not an adverb, but a part of it is an adverb. You need to figure that out.
Most.
Most, right? Most. So that means even in the first line, you have the most popular. That most
Yeah.
is also an adverb. So why is it an adverb? Any comment on that?
Because it's describing the degree.
It carries the degree and it also qualifies what? The adjectives popular and prominent respectively. Right? So what follows it are both adjectives, and hence by even structurally, if you look at it by the grammatical definition, it's qualifying another adjective. Hence it must be an adverb. And even otherwise, right? Most is sort of that which shows the superlative form of that adjective, adding description to that. Hence this is a most is an adverb. Okay. Most is used as other parts of speech also. Any guesses where?
Um, I'm not sure. It's something which shows the superlative degree, but I'm.
Huh.
Is it an
That is
adjective
when it
too?
is used as an adverb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it can also be used as a pronoun. In the sense, say, if I say something like, we had the most to lose, right? So the most stands in place of a noun, right? Something that we haven't quantified. So this is a kind of an indefinite pronoun, right? So it can also be used as an indefinite pronoun. But in our case, in the sentences here, it's used as an adverb, okay?
Okay.
Right. And the second one, today plate armor plays a very important part in the history of personal armors as the most distinct and easily recognizable type of the armor in the entire world.
Very.
Yes. How about today here? The beginning you have today, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there's today. And very, yes, you're right.
the most
Yes, most.
easily. Easily.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yes, easily. So you have today, you have very, and then you have most, and then easily, right? Four of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, third one. As soon as someone sees the plate armor in any of its forms, whether it is full plate suit for both soldier and horse, or just breastplate protector named cuirass, modern people are immediately thinking about medieval times. Numerous wars that happened during early Renaissance and romanticized vision of fully armored knights and pre-gunpowder warfare.
Is only soon an adverb or as soon as? No, as soon as is a phrase, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as it's not an adverb.
Okay. So soon is also not an adverb.
No, not in this construction. Soon alone would be yes. If it has occurred single as as a single word, then yes, but not in this construction because this is a phrase now, right? As soon
Yeah.
as.
Okay. Immediately.
Yeah, immediately, right?
Um. Romanticized. No.
Romanticized, no. Why romanticized? No, that's a verb, right?
Yeah. Correct. But
Okay, how about weather in the first line, right? As soon as someone sees plate armor in any of its forms, weather, it is full plate suit for both soldier and horse, or that one?
weather is a conjunction, right? I'm not very sure.
Okay, look at it. I see that's why you have the sentence. Just look at it and judge if it is conjunction, if it is adverb.
Whether it is
Okay, the question is whether weather can be used as an adverb.
weather.
Hmm.
I'm not sure.
No, right? No. It is the
No.
conjunction, you're right. You don't use it as an adverb. This again can cause confusions among people who, I'm talking about it because there are people who would think, oh, whether since it can introduce condition, probably this can be used as an adverb, right? But whether usually that happens only if you have an if and whether clause. Otherwise, no. Okay. Alone, when used in a sentence, you're right, it's a conjunction, and to be more specific, a subordinating conjunction. Okay. So yes, that's not an adverb. Then yeah, so you told me immediately. Then did you have anything else? Okay, how about this one? Early.
Early. Yeah, I think so. Early is also.
Early is an adverb, but in this case, is it an adverb?
I no. It
So
might.
early is a word again which can be used both as an adverb and an adjective. Okay, and in this case, it's used as an adjective. Look at it, early Renaissance,
Yeah.
right? Renaissance is what? It's the name of a period and it's a noun.
Yeah.
So early is used as an adjective, but early can also be used as an adverb. It's just that here it is not used as an adverb. Okay.
Okay.
The same
Yes.
thing applies to the word late also, right? Late also can be used both as an adverb and an adjective.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 The last line, vision of fully armored knights and pre-gunpowder warfare.
Fully.
Fully, right? Fully. Fully is qualifying the adjective armored, right?
Yes.
Okay. You were asking about romanticized. Romanticized, I think I told you it's a verb. It's not a verb, but it's not also an adverb. What is it? It's an adjective. Romanticized vision, right?
Vision.
So it's an
Yeah.
adjective.
Okay.
Did you lose the access to the document?
No, ma'am.
Can you
It's still
see?
visible. Yeah, it's
It's still
visible.
visible. Okay.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Right. Then the fourth one, the oldest plate armor ever made comes from ancient Mycenaean era Greece from around 1400 BC.
Ever?
Yeah, ever. Yes, correct. And what kind of an adverb would that be?
I'm not sure, but it might be time.
Ah,
Yeah. It's time, right?
yeah, it's time. It's time. Or maybe if you want to like go a little more precise, you can call it frequency. But time is also fine. Hmm?
Okay.
Anything else in that sentence? Ever made comes from ancient Mycenaean era Greece from around. No, right? Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Fifth one, because of the difficult manufacture and weight, body plate armors were mostly used in a form of cuirass that was split into front and back section.
Mostly.
Okay, mostly correct.
Um. Uh. Difficult. No.
Difficult. No, no, not difficult. Difficult manufacture. Difficult here is an adjective.
Adjective.
Difficult.
Okay. So what is manufacture here? Is it not a verb?
No, no. Because of the difficult manufacture and weight. So both weight and manufacture are nouns.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in that one, I think just mostly we don't have anything else. And then I think the last one here, Greece introduction of this type of armor morphed into new forms of plate armors, most notably in Rome, where Lorica segmentata became popular during several centuries.
Mm, most? No. Most? Yeah, most.
Yeah, most, yes. How about notably?
Notably is a verb, right?
Notably is a verb.
I'm no. I'm sorry, I got confused. Yeah, it's an adverb, I think.
What is it?
Yeah, it is an adverb.
Adverb. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right. So most and notably both are adverbs in this case. Most, of course, is your degree, and notably is your math. Good.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that much should be enough for you for the practice of the basic ones.
Yeah.
We look at the questions on comment and viewpoint, at least a few of them. The first of the exercises, these documents are already uploaded, so for the other exercises that we have, you can access the document and do your practice. Okay.
Sure.
We'll do the first set here. I'll do one
Yeah.
thing. I'll just copy these um, copy this one and paste it in your chat box so that once I scroll this, you can still, give me the answers.
Sure, ma'am. Okay.
Because these are the options. Okay, I pasted it in the chat. You can access it from there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now. Okay, so comment and viewpoint, right? So a little bit on that. comment, which one do you think is, let's begin by talking about the formality levels of both of these adverbs, right? Because I told you that these are utilized in writing. The moment it comes to writing, the distinction between formal and informal writing becomes very distinct. Okay.
Okay.
So, what happened? Anything?
No, nothing, ma'am.
Okay. So, what is this distinction I'm talking about? Among the viewpoint and comment adverbs, the viewpoint adverbs are considered more formal. So they can appear more commonly in writing than the comment ones, right? So comment adverbs are informal, hence they're found mostly in the, casual conversational or spoken language. Whereas, you'll find the formal writing, in formal writing, what you'll see mostly would be the viewpoint adverbs. Now, what are viewpoint adverbs? Viewpoint adverbs, as the name suggests, it tells you a point of view, right? So something like methodologically, this doesn't look sound, or mathematically speaking, or philosophically, this is not how it has to be proposed, right? Biologically, this fly would not be categorized as an insect. So basically, by viewpoint or point of view adverbs, you're trying to say that you're placing the perspective from which you are forming the following sentence, right? Which could be anything, like a couple of the adverbs that I just mentioned: biologically, philosophically, mathematically, right? Or theoretically, technically, right? All of these basically they give an insight into the speaker's perspective from where the following sentence have been formed, right? That's how they function. But in the case of comment adverbs, the thing is that it's not a perspectival approach. It is, even if it is more of a personal or a subjective understanding of the person or the thing that you're talking about, and not an informed point of view like you see in the case of a viewpoint adverb, right? So examples like luckily, disappointingly, sadly, wrongly, wisely, right? Fortunately, unfortunately, unbelievably, all of this would then classify as comment adverbs. Anything that looks informal, anything that looks more comment like, something that is formulated as a subjective or a personal opinion sorts, okay, which is non-perspectival, are all comment adverbs. Okay. The opposite to that would be your viewpoint adverbs, right? That's how we look at both of them, right? Okay. So we look at a few questions here now. Um, I have posted the options for you already in the chat, so you can pick it out from there. The first question, right? Dash, the sun rises in the east. What do you think would be a better option from the ones that you have in the chat? How can you answer this? Which among this one? Okay, see, this is already posted in the chat if you're looking for them here, because anyway, this will be scrolled down, so you won't be able to see. Are you able to see these options in the chat? Yes, no? No. That probably is because you just joined. Maybe paste it again. See if you can access it now. Okay, so what would be the first one then? Dash, the sun rises in the east. You can pick a suitable one from the list you have there.
Clearly,
Clearly the sun rises in the east. Okay. Any other answers or suggestions? Okay, yeah, naturally, even, for me, the more, I think the acceptable answer would be naturally. Because clearly, yes, when you say like clearly or something, then it usually shows, it has a flavor of commented verb, right? Clearly and obviously and all that. But naturally is more perspectival. Now, let me tell you one more thing. Most of the times viewpoint adverbs, if you're talking about viewpoint adverbs, they appear in the beginning of the sentence, right? So like this, naturally the sun rises in the east. Mathematically speaking, that equation doesn't look sound, right? So the viewpoint adverbs, one of the identification mark would be that they appear in the right in the beginning of the sentence, because it functions very much like a sentence adverb. Whatever follows this particular adverb is taken within its fold, right? So they appear as in the beginning of the sentence, right? So naturally, right? Now, the next one, the sun dash rises in the east.
obviously.
You can say obviously here, right? But remember, this is less of a viewpoint one. This is actually, if so to speak, it has a flavor of the viewpoint adverb, but because the sun rises in the east is a factual statement, you don't count it as a comment adverb. Although obviously in usages come as an adverb of comment, here we do not use it in that sense because this is a factual statement. If it was something else, then we would have definitely counted here, obviously, as a commented, right? In this case, no, because of the type of statement that's given. Keep this in mind, factual statements won't be counted as, the adverbs in them won't be counted as commented verbs, okay? Because they are factual and they represent truth and facts, okay? Third one, you dash go through the book. You dash go through the book. Which one do you think would be a better one? Clearly is okay?
Yes,
Clearly?
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You or can we use something like simply? You simply go through the book,
Okay.
right? So you
Yes, ma'am.
simply go through. Okay. Fourth one, I had dash conveyed the secret message.
I had confidentially.
So there's a clue right there. I had confidentially conveyed the secret message, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next one, dash, I will be there for the party.
Obviously.
Hello,
Again,
ma'am. Hello.
Can you say fortunately? You can say fortunately, right? Fortunately, I will be there for the party. Again, comment, although it appears in the beginning of the sentence, because of the nature of the sentence, it's going to be counted as a comment adverb, right? Sorry, I'm not, if it is to be considered in the formal sense, depending on where the adverb appears, you might have a tendency to say this is viewpoint. But because of the nature of the sentence, you know that it's more of a comment than a viewpoint. It's not an informed statement or decision, right? That follows it. It's a, it looks more like a comment. So you can say, fortunately, I'll be there for the party. Or you could also say, obviously, I'll be there for the party. Right? That's also right. Both can go. Sixth one, dash, she was again behaving weird.
unfortunately.
You can say, unfortunately. Anything else? Can we say unbelievably?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
also fine.
unbelievably, he was again behaving weird. Okay. In the previous
Hello, ma'am.
sentence,
Hello.
sorry, yes.
Hello, can I speak in Hindi?
What do you want to ask? If it is related to this, you may. Otherwise, please, you may wait for some time.
Because, ma'am, this topic is not comfortably understood with me. So please explain.
Right. So it's more like a doubt, right? I think I've gone over this, but if it's for the additional instruction, would you mind like joining us tomorrow again between 5 to 6? So you can get your doubts cleared comfortably.
Okay, okay. 5 to 6.
Okay. The usual live session. Right. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. What were we discussing? Yeah, in the previous sentence, no, the fifth one that we were looking at, I will be there for the party. We chose fortunately. We chose what else? Obviously, right? You can also add luckily there, right? Same thing like fortunately, but I missed out on luckily in the option. So you can also say luckily instead of unfortunately, sorry, fortunately and obviously, right? Luckily, I'll be there for the party. Fortunately, I'll be there for the
Yes, ma'am.
party. Or obviously, I will be there for the party. Okay. And next one is unbelievably, he was again behaving weird. And unfortunately, right? Two things we looked at. Okay. Seventh one, dash the man looked troubled.
Clearly,
You can say clearly the man looked troubled. Yes, right.
unfortunately, maybe. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, yes. And unfortunately, but I think your previous answer is the better one.
yes, ma'am.
Unfortunately and fortunately might require context, but the man looked troubled can, I think, clearly would be the better choice. Clearly, the man looked troubled. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I'm checking if I can go over or okay, maybe we'll take another two and then go to the focus adverbs. Dash, he got up and started moving lazily. Dash, he got up and started moving lazily. For people who are looking for options, I posted it already in the chat. Maybe I'll do that again so that you can.
Can we say simply?
Simply, he got up and started moving. See?
No, I don't think it'll.
Hmm.
Stupidly is better, I think.
Yeah, stupidly may go. It's okay. Stupidly or unbelievably would be, I think, semantically more fitting. You know, it can give you some kind of meaning. Others may, although grammatically right, it may not give you the right kind of meaning. It won't be very meaningful. So say stupidly, or you can also say unbelievably, right?
Yes, ma'am.
There could be other options, but from the options that we have, I think these are sound answers. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
The 10th one, he dash dozed off while driving. He dash dozed off while driving.
Naturally,
Naturally, does it make sense? He naturally dozed off while driving. It's not quite that natural also. So see the context you should understand also. Is it good to doze off while you drive? No, right?
no.
So
Yeah.
you could say unfortunately, or you could also say he stupidly also you can use here. He stupidly dozed off. Okay. He unfortunately dozed off, right? He obviously dozed off. So, for example, if the sentence has been a follow-up statement for something else, right? Then you
Yes.
can see he obviously say, imagine there was an accident and maybe you're discussing how it happened. In that sense, also you can use in that particular context, you can use the word obviously. He obviously dozed off while driving. That's why something like this happened. Okay. So obviously, or unfortunately, or stupidly, right? All of them fit. Or you could also say wrongly. He wrongly dozed off while driving. That's also fine. Okay. Okay. Now there are a couple of more questions there. You can look at them. 10 more, I think, and you can use them for the practice. These ones are with options, lesser options, so working out won't be an issue. Since we have time constraints, we're going to move on to the adverbs of focus category. Before we wind up for today, I want you to have a look at this as well, so that you have an understanding of this before you go to the exam. So adverbs of focus, like I discussed in the beginning, their role is to bring the attention or drag the attention to a particular part of the sentence. Okay, only one part of the sentence. When you want to bring the attention to only one certain word or phrase of a sentence in order to, give it some sort of an intensification effect or emphasize, right? When you want to emphasize on that particular part of the sentence, or you want to provide some kind of stress on just that aspect or word of the sentence, you use an adverb of focus, right? You see also just only, even, right? 4 of them. Now, these are not the only 4 focus of adverbs. There are many more focus adverbs, but the more commonly used focus adverbs are also, just, only, and even, right? They all have different functions. So I'll discuss that with you when you're looking at the questions, right? But remember, these are not the 4 ones available. There could be a few more, like either or and all. They can also be fit in this category. But since the commonly used ones are these 4, I have only listed them here, right? Let's look at the first sentence and understand how they function. Mobile phones can browse the internet. They can dash play music.
Also.
What could
Also?
be the answer? Okay, so the answer would be also. They can also play music, right? But forget about this part. Mobile phones can browse the internet. Say, for example, I did not have this part, okay? The one that I'm highlighting. Imagine I did not have a sentence like this in the beginning. Mobile phones can browse the internet. Okay, we did not have that, and we only had they can dash play music. Then what could be your answers?
Only they can only play music.
So you can say they can also play music. You can say they can only play music. They can just play music. They can even play music, right? In each of the case, the meanings produced are different. But you know that all the 4 that we have mentioned here can actually sit in that place, that blank space. And that's the case for most of the times. The case with the focus adverbs is they are replaceable depending on what meaning you want them to produce. Okay. So in the first sentence, along with the mobile phones can browse the internet part, the answer will be also. Okay, they can also play music. Mobile phones can browse the internet. They can also play music. There's one more word which can fit there. Can you tell me what that is?
Even?
They can even play music. So when I use they can also play music, the meaning is of additive quality. So along with, the ability of the ability of being able to browse the internet, what additionally can be done using mobile phone, playing music, which is shown by also. When we change that to even, what is the meaning produced? They can even play music. It shows an element of surprise or shock. right? So both are possible in that blank, but each is producing a different meaning. When you use also, you're using it to show there's an additive quality for the mobile phone. When you use even, it's your way of expressing surprise or shock, but both are right. And in both cases, they're used as focus adverbs. Okay, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, second one, if you look at the second one, my mobile phone cannot make long distance call. It can dash make local calls.
It can only make only.
It can only make local calls. Okay. It can only make local calls. Anything else? Can we use just here instead of only?
Yeah. Yes,
In
ma'am.
the same sense? Yeah. Yeah. So as a limiting factor, if you're using the focus adverb as a limiting factor, you can use either just or you can use the adverb only. Okay. Right. So it can only make for local calls. It can just make local calls. Same meaning, limiting factor. Third one, my mobile phone can navigate to an address. It can dash show me where the traffic is. It
Even.
is similar to the first sentence. Huh? So you can use even to show, surprise or shock, or in addition, you can also use also to show an additive quality, right? It can navigate and also show me where the traffic is, in that sense. So both also and even will fit here as well. Fourth one, my mobile phone cannot browse the internet. It cannot dash save phone numbers.
Even.
Even, it cannot even save phone numbers. So shock, right? Cannot even save phone numbers. Okay, fifth one, we don't have anything else possible in that blank, only even goes, okay? Because of the context provided by the previous sentence. Now, fifth one, dash a cell phone can do this work.
Only a cell phone. Only.
Only a cell phone can do this work, or
Even.
even a cell phone can do this work. Yes, yes, only, or even again in this blank. And just,
Can
even
be there.
just can go, just a cell phone can go, right? So
Ma'am, all are
just, only,
correct, ma'am.
even, all the three would fit.
Ma'am, all are correct, no? All can win. Also a cell phone, just a cell phone
Yes,
can.
yes, you can use
All
all
are
the
correct.
three, just only,
I
even.
think I think all are
Yeah.
correct, right?
Not all, also you cannot use, you can use just only, even. All are correct, yes.
Why also cannot use, ma'am?
Also a cell phone can do this work. You have to have a comma after that. Okay, in that case you can use also, but it has to be followed by a comma.
Where comma should be there?
But in this, after also, but in that case it won't be used as an additive thing. Also will be used as an adverb in that. Not as a, not as a focus adverb, but as a conjunctive adverb, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Also a cell phone can. It's different from the other usages, okay? Right. Sixth one, dash my phone can make calls to family in this area. Okay, so from 6 to 10, we are going to only focus on one of the focus adverbs. We'll only use only, right? So we'll fill up the blanks here with only, just to see how the meaning of the sentence shifts when you shift the placing of only in the sentence, right? So only my phone can make calls to family in this area. What is the emphasizer here? Only. And what is it emphasizing? Which part of the sentence is emphasized in question number 6 using only?
Phone.
Yeah, my phone, like only my phone, right? So this is how you bring in one method of bringing in sentential stress or stressing a certain part of the sentence is using a focus adverb right before it. Here we used only, and the part that follows immediately after the focus adverb is the one that gets emphasized, right, or stressed. So only my phone can make calls to family in this area. No other phones, only mine. Okay, that's the meaning. Now the seventh one, my phone can dash make calls to family in this area. By default, we are filling it with only. But what is the meaning? What is the emphasized part here? My phone can only make calls to family in this area. My phone can only make calls to family in this area.
It's like a
Which part is
limiting
stressed? Which part is stressed in the sentence?
family. Not
No.
sure.
The part which directly, follows after the focus adverb is always stressed. Keep that in mind. So make calls. Only make calls to family in this area. Make calls is the one that is stressed, right? And what's the meaning? My phone can only make calls to family in this area, right? Making call is the only thing my phone can do, right?
Okay.
That is what is the meaning of the sentence. It cannot send pictures or it cannot click photos. It can only make calls. That's the idea. Okay. So that's what is emphasized. Now, eighth one, my phone can make only calls to family in this area. Seventh and eighth is, I think, similar only. The only difference is they've used a phrase. So I think it's all right, right? My phone can make only calls to family in this area, same meaning. Okay. That is only calls, no, nothing else with this phone. Okay. Ninth one, my phone can make calls only to family in this area. Which part is stressed?
To family.
To family, right? So this can make calls only to families, not anybody else. You get a call from that phone only if, see, this might sound silly, but the point is not that. We're trying to see how, some intensifiers like a focus adverb works in a sentence and how they can affect the meanings, right? So don't take it very literally or seriously. We're just trying to understand the grammatical placement and the meaning it can generate. Okay. My phone can make calls only to family. Okay, nothing else, only to family in this area. Nobody else. If you're a single living in that area, you won't get a call from that. Only to family, right? Last one, my phone can make calls to family only in this area. Focus is on
In this
where
area.
is the emphasis? On the area, right? In this area. So you will get a call from that phone only if you live in that area, nowhere else, right? So look at how the meaning shifts or the meaning changes from sentence number 6 to 10 only by, moving the focus adverbs across the sentence, right? Along the sentence, sorry, not across. So the minute you move it to a different position, the meaning of the whole sentence changes entirely. So this function, this capability focus adverbs, they possess with themselves, hence they are used as emphasizers in sentence. When you want to stress a certain aspect or a part of sentence, you use a focus adverb, right? That's the role, that's the function that it performs. And they're very important in formal writing and speaking and all that, okay? Which is why the topic is also, the application of the topic is basically that, formal writing, formal speeches, right? Okay. Any questions or anything? Can we wind up for today? I think I'm a little late for the next class also. If you have any questions quickly, I can take one or two, or else we'll close and meet again next week. Nothing? Okay, all good. If you have any doubts from what we discussed, of course, you can write to us. If you know the mail ID, I'll be happy to answer it in one-on-one also. I don't have a problem like that. But if there's anything, you can write, okay? Or you can join the live sessions and ask your doubts there as well, or write to us in the groups, right?